Wait, hold on. Where the fuck can I find Qiyana's like stat lines and shit, like her numbers?
1 million podcast.
We got the streak alive, unintelligible intros. I know the name of the show, and I didn't even know what you said. I don't even know what my boy
coming
just
at you
said.
hot with probably our worst week of predictions yet. I think
yours more than mine, but yes.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I mean I literally beat you by one. That's all I meant.
I'm a little unhappy with this week of predictions, but
we really shit the bed.
A little bit.
And by we, I mean all the teams who let us down. Except for C9 winning against TSM. God bless.
Oh, I'm sorry. Echo Fox says what?
I don't care, dude. I beat you. That's all that matters. I know that hurt you more than Echo Fox hurt me, so like I'm fine.
maybe. So we got a TSM C9 VOD review coming up. We got Optic and GGS.
Did you say a VOD review?
VOD review. I know, the game match review, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
We're not doing. Are we doing a VOD review now?
No. We can do that at a different time, but not now. We got Optic GGS falling behind while 100 Thieves and FlyQuest are coming out. We'll talk about that. Qiyana was put out and played this weekend. Jesus.
I mean,
and we got a match preview for CLG and C9, CLG versus C9, and 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. So without further ado, let's go into our picks.
Let's get it, dog.
Let's go into our picks from last week, which I don't have a graphic for this week, but we'll make do. TSM versus...
You can just screenshot it and put it up.
That's gonna take a minute.
It'll take you 6 seconds if you do it before the video. So anyway, so start.
So we pick TSM versus Clutch Game. We both picked TSM. Both were right. TL versus CLG. Both picked TL. We were both right. That was probably CLG's worst showing up in the past 4 weeks or so.
Yeah. GGS, it was much worse than when they beat TSM, I'll tell you that.
Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest. We both picked Golden Guardians. We were both let down supremely. Though that match looked like last year, the last split to me.
I don't know. I don't want to think about that. That was a rough one to watch. That wasn't even fun.
Yeah, it looked exactly.
I guess it was fun if you were. I guess it was fun for a FlyQuest fan. Shout out Haymon, but he had a good time. But like,
if you watch them from last split and then this split, this is how you kind of expected them to play against each other constantly. Yeah, but it hasn't been looking that way. But this match brought it back. Fox versus Cloud9. Both of us picked Cloud9. Both of us were wrong.
Yeah.
Matt, thoughts, feelings, opinions, hurt?
Are we doing that now or later?
No. This one's not on the review
list. About it now. I mean, it definitely sucked. I definitely didn't expect it. And then all of a sudden, quirky, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, all of a sudden, Phoenix was in there tearing shit up. But I'd rather not think about it if I don't have to. It wasn't on the list, so I didn't prepare any official thoughts.
So my thought on this game is basically that Vygar worked up until he didn't.
Yeah, but oh boy, when Vygar worked, boy howdy, did Vygar work.
Yeah, Vygar was sort of hard carrying that game for a while, and then Vygar stopped being like more useful for some reason. I don't know why. And the team just fell over. Hang on, let me see what I wrote down for this game. Oh yeah, I said that C9 had the pressure top, and it yielded them a CS deficit, but that GP still had a gold lead even with the CS deficit. So their entire pressure top failed, and it let the rest of the map stay even.
You're correct.
So yeah, so that's how that game panned out. Let me go back to our picks. Then we had Optic versus 100 Thieves. We both picked Optic, and we were both wrong. 100 Thieves, man. 100 Thieves. FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. We both picked Team Liquid. Both are right. That kind of one-sided, like always. C9 versus TSM.
Not always. Not always. Not anymore.
Matt picked C9. I picked TSM as we usually do, and Matt was right. I might get the pick.
Get shit on there.
Next one, CLG versus Golden Guardians. Matt picked Golden Guardians. I picked CLG. Matt pulled that one out, even though for the first 30 minutes of that game, I was just like, nah, it's over. I got this.
No, it's okay. It's just like the TSM game. Didn't matter. Not the beginning didn't matter, and they won for who knows what reason.
But don't. Oh, the CLG threw that game so hard.
Correct.
But don't fret, because I got him back in the 100 Thieves vs. Fox game.
You did.
Fox.
You got
I got
back.
100 Thieves and I got him.
I like that you said don't fret. I like the investment you're
I'm setting up
Do not fear.
investment in these picks, man. Then
Do not fear. No, it's okay. I won the week. I
Clutch Gaming versus Optic. When I first started watching this match, the only thing I wrote down in my notes was, I don't care about this match, and I didn't really pay attention. I noticed that I had Qiyana, and I'm like, okay, I'll pay attention to Qiyana.
I can read your notes, and that's true. I can read your notes, dude.
Did you see what I read at the end of the TSM C9 game?
No, I didn't. I
It
don't
just says
actively
fuck.
You didn't get fucked. That is true.
I don't know if I said this, but we both picked Optic, and we were both wrong on that game too.
We were.
So, the playoff line looking contentious. Before we get into talking about that,
in a little bit, we will get to that.
let's talk about TSM versus Cloud9 and
Are we
why
not going
I
to touch
hate
on
myself.
the fact that is this?
Oh, what?
I was just going to ask you if this was the first week we weren't actually even.
I don't think so.
Okay.
This week did such. Oh, I picked the wrong thing.
I think I'm ahead now.
Yeah, I put you one game up on me right now.
Oh my god.
It's you're 43 and 37, and I'm 40 and 40. Wait, hang on. No, you're 3 games up on me right now.
Oh
So this is definitely not
good.
the first week we've been split.
I'm too fucking good, dude. Anyway.
You're fucking good.
I'm insane, bro. What do you want from me? I'm pretty sure that's a terrible percentage, but.
But they're both right around 50. I don't know why you're up 3 games. I think my numbers are just wrong, actually. Because you should be 41-39. I don't know. I can fix it later.
So, oh wait, if I'm 43 for 37, I'm at 86.
Huh? No, it's 40.
no.
That's 54%.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought you said something differently than you said. Anyway,
But I think you're only 1 game up on me. I feel like
okay. This is not the time to handle that. Let's talk about your pain. You can't put it off any longer, Anthony. Let me hear the thoughts.
Okay.
The musings.
So, I don't know why a lot of teams seem to do this, but C9 started off by focus banning Bjergsen. And
well, it's almost like he's good at the game.
all 5 of the bans went to Bjergsen. All of them. And hang on, did they pick before? Am I in that game? Nope. Need to find the game. There we go. Damn it, I don't have the pick bans. Well, there goes that. Damn it.
Well, in that case,
Now I'm disorganized.
Start talking about other shit.
I don't know. So TSM walked in with a team fight comp, a pick/team fight comp. This is very reminiscent of another time they played C9 and did this almost exact same thing, where they had a Super Siege pick comp with Zoe and Ezreal, and same thing happened there, except it was a lot more sudden, to be honest. And then C9 walked in with a split push team fight comp instead of a pick poke team fight comp.
What did you want to know about pick ban, by the way? I have it up.
Did they pick their mid laner before the second round of bans? C9.
No, their first 3 picks were Lux, Sivir, Jarvan. So
okay.
they picked
So they
bot, jungle, 3 mid bans, and then then Rumble from Bjerg, then Rumble, then it can be flexed.
Are you tabbing through the game?
I'm not. I was just at like 10 seconds behind, and I had it paused.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So it was last pick Jace for C9, which was funny. You can't beat Kumo with his own. You can't beat.
No. TSM of Jace.
I know you can't beat Kumo with his own shit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think Jace did pretty good, especially early, because he was able to get a good early EXE. They had a lot of anti-heal, on TSM rather early, and I was happy that they finally are like consistently picking up EX anti-heal on their team. Because dear lord, do I see it all the time where teams just don't pick up anti-heal and they're running Aatrox and Vladimir, or like, I don't know, some super regen comp, like they have Trundle too. So the big thing here for TSM is Rumble mid. Rumble mid is something that you don't see a whole lot. People really didn't like seeing Bjergsen on it from what I've been reading. They didn't like how infrequently he ulted, because he would sometimes die with his ult up, because if you silence yourself on Rumble, you can't ult, and I don't think he kind of had that down pat. Into Vladimir though, it's probably a pretty good matchup, just because it's got a lot of push and a lot of damage, and Vladimir early game is complete and utter garbage, especially in lane. Like, anybody who says Vladimir's like impossible to lane against doesn't know how to play League of Legends. He's the easiest champion to lane against. You just kill him. He does no damage at all. His Q is on like an 8-second cooldown for the first.
It's really
levels.
high. It's a really rough early game,
and it only does like 200 damage with the bonus. So it's not. He's not great early game. His entire kit is in his ability to regen and use his ultimate and just burn time with his pool. And turns out, against Rumble, it doesn't matter in lane. And Bjergsen kind of bashed him around in lane a bit. Not to say he did very well in Rumble. I don't think he did very well in Rumble. I'm just saying it kind of worked for the lane. Now, my other question is, why are we running Varus Tahm Kench bot lane in this comp? I get it. It is a little bit more to the pick.
I don't think TK is good in poke comps.
Yeah, PK is not very good in poke comps. He's good in pick comps, and pick poke kind of work together a little bit, but
sure, but this is not that.
Can we pick Caitlyn and like, I don't fucking know, anyone else for support?
Yeah, I think I don't think TK is ever bad. Is what I'll say as someone who played a lot of bot lane. I'm always happy to play as TK or play with the TK. However, I think that he's kind of weak, especially because Karma's up.
Karma's not
for
up.
poke. Karma's banned by who? Oh, by them. Just kidding. Psych! I'm trolling. A lot of other good supports are still up though. I don't know why they banned Karma over Lux, but that's actually kind of weird to me.
Well, I mean, Karma is still crazy broken, and she's stupid strong.
Lux isn't?
No, but if you're gonna pick Tahm Kench, it makes Lux a lot less powerful because you eat them out of the bind.
No, certainly. I don't think that that's unreasonable. I just would have liked to see something else from Smoothie here. I know he's capable of playing very many things. And the TK to me is usually something that's a little more scrappy, right? Because the real value in TK is, TK is the thing that makes him insane as a support. Is, yes, the chase down is very good, but Poke doesn't really give a shit about chase down because they're already hitting you from max range if they're playing right. And it's to protect you in a team fight, but Poke one doesn't always want to be team fighting. They either if they are team fighting, it's because they've poked you so far down, right? To me, TK doesn't really synergize there, right? Obviously, I'm not a very good analyst, or I don't really know much about the game, but to me, it seems out of place in the lane. If he had gone attack speed Varus, I would have been all for Tahm Kench. If he was going to be doing a lot of that, but he wasn't and he didn't. So.
I think people don't like going attack speed Varus anymore. Mostly,
someone did it this weekend.
That doesn't mean they like doing it or want to do it, because they've nerfed Rage Blade into the ground basically, and it really hurts attack speed Varus.
Oh, I don't disagree. I'm not saying attack speed Varus is good. I'm just saying it would have made me happier. FBI
I
did
think
it.
Picking someone else mid would have probably been better.
FBI did it, and he didn't get a Rage Blade. They lost that game, but he went Bork. He went Bork, Rapid Fire, and then had a BF sword.
Rapid Fire?
Yeah.
Not Rune Hands?
No, I'm looking at his build.
That's so weird. Nonetheless, I think the real reason why C9 was able to get together and come back in this is they didn't go for a split push or get separated at all. For the back 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the game, hang on, how long was this game? 36 minutes? Okay, so for the back 20 or 15-ish minutes of the game, they were basically in a death ball, always fighting and always like not trying to get caught out by anybody. And TSM just didn't seem to know how to respond to that, even though they're running Rumble and Sejuani, who are two really good team fighting champions.
Yes.
Running Jace and Varus, who are not as strong in team fighting, at least with this Varus build. And it's like they just felt all out of place.
C9 was also like extraordinarily safe. They had Sivir Spell Shield, which saved Sneaky a couple times, and once again, as I mentioned last week, as he did again this week, that he did also last week, Zeyzal got the early Mikhails. And one of the biggest turning points, really at the end of the game, was when Kumo got Sedge ulted out of the bush, and then Zeyzal immediately cleansed it, flag, drag, ult, and it was just a one team fight from there. So having so much safety and having your support build that early Mikhails into a team that wants to kill you with a Sedge ult initiate and then just hit you with an obscene amount of poke while you can't move, it really like neutralized a lot of what TSM's comp was capable of, by just sort of nullifying their primary engaged target, which sucks for them, but great for me. So
there were a couple of moments that even on broadcast they noticed that Rumble just had ult up and had a bunch of really good spots he could have used his ultimate and didn't.
Did Bjerg not ult?
A few times he held his ult and he probably shouldn't have, or he kind of misplaced it. Like, especially that one where he flashes on top of Sivir and immediately overheats himself instead of ulting first to do anything else.
That was funny.
I was just sitting there like...
That's some shit I would do on Rumble, bro.
I'm sitting here looking and I'm just like...
Not to say I'm as good as Rumble as Bjerg, he's much better than me, but that's some shit I would do, or like our friends would do on Rumble support, or just like flash immediately overheat.
Like I've been in that situation 100 times where you flashed over and overheated and you're like, crap, I should have ulted first, or
I shouldn't have done that.
And I'm just sitting there like, okay, you need to ult and then go in on them and walk around the wall, and then he flashes over and I'm like, you didn't need to do that. You have ult. You could have just ulted 3 people. You could have just gone for Sivir and then flash to follow up, or because he's gonna blow the flash either way if he presses R, because she's gonna be slowed and she'll die. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. My biggest question mark is the Rumble pick. That's mostly it for me. That, and they just couldn't pick. They couldn't pick anyone off. Jarvan though, Sunscreen on Jarvan was just isolating Sven out like nobody's fucking business, and I have no idea how it kept working, because he would isolate Sven out like 100 miles away from anybody, and then he'd still die. Just like, what the fuck? Or he'd drop him down to 2 HP and he'd have to run away for the fight. Like, how does that even happen? There was so much damage. And then, I'm not saying either team did abysmal this game. They were just problems at moments.
No, both teams were actually, like, decent. And, like, I'm so stoked to see C9 have what, their old thing back, right? Like, a lot of the times lately when C9 loses a little bit earlier, I felt like, oh, well, it's just kind of over. They sort of start making a lot of mistakes. But this time, even though they were so far behind, like, they really managed to like stay focused and like really take advantage of whatever sort of edge they were given. And TSM did the same thing, right? Like, it wasn't an easy win by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, it took like 3 turnovers for C9 to actually be able to close the game.
Yeah, it was really back and forth. It was really good from both teams.
What was my other thought? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I think this is probably one of the best games of this split. Like, just like it was a really high quality game. There was a bunch of fights where they would start the fight and then everyone would kind of escape with 200 HP and like no one's dead and everyone's just like, how do you do that? How do you pull that out? I don't know. Nerf Lux and Aatrox and TSM win this hands down though. 2 of the most broken champs in the game end up on, well, to be fair, TSM have Sejuani.
That's true. Sejuani's very good, man.
But the other team has
Sejuani's not that good into Mikhails, though.
Yeah, it's not as good into Mikhails, and Aatrox honestly does pretty good into Sejuani.
I agree. I also like the Mikhails because it saves at least one person from buying a QSS.
And especially since there's only really one CC on the other team that you can even bother QSSing. Like, you can QSS Tom Stun and Eat, but can you QSS Eat? I think you can. You have to be
No
able to
idea.
QSS that heat.
I really don't know.
Either way, good match. I want to see this in a series, for the love of God. Bring back best of
We
threes.
probably will.
Maybe. It depends on how the bracket sifts out.
You're not wrong.
Because one of them might end up playing TL and losing out. Who knows? But they're definitely going to get top 4 looking at this performance. They're looking rather succinct, and I think TSM are going to probably stick with the KDM for a while. I think they played him both games this weekend, and ever since Rift Rivals, he's just been looking a lot better than Greg has.
Unfortunate. R.I.P. Greg. Gone but not forgotten.
Okay.
Press F into chat, Anthony, for Greg. Yeah, I think that... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they stuck with him, or once they clinched playoffs, or like top 3 or something, maybe putting Greg back in just to see. It wouldn't shock me, but Acadian has been looking very strong.
I think TL are 2 games out of clinching playoffs.
TL?
I think 11 is playoffs clinched.
How I don't even know when playoffs are, dude. How close are we?
We just had week 6, so there's 3 more weeks. And then
shit.
Do they have a week off? I don't know.
I don't know either. I couldn't find the start date. I also didn't look that hard.
On this. Oh wait. Yeah, I can probably check the schedule real quick.
I should probably know this.
When playoffs are, they start August 10th. Which is it's there's no break. It's 1 week after week 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright! Optic and Golden Guardians.
Oh, this is an exciting one.
Falling off a cliff quite a bit.
That's a very impolite way to say that.
It is very impolite. But 100 Thieves and FlyQuest are crawling their way back up from the depths of the bottom of the bracket, or table, or whatever you want to call it.
I mean,
how's this going to affect playoffs? What's going on? What do you think is going to happen?
What do I think is going to happen? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. I'm also glad I read the document in advance so I could prepare. So here's what I think. I am not I'm confident in at least one of those 2 teams to pick up the downturn. And I'm confident in at least one of those teams to fail to maintain their upturn. I haven't worked out which one I think will stabilize from falling yet. I don't know if I think it'll be Optic or Golden Guardians. I was actually thinking a lot about this, and I was watching a lot of the VODs and watching how their teams they've been playing as a team since they started doing poorly, and I'm actually really not sure. However, I would put my money on FlyQuest maintaining an uptick only because FlyQuest just seems a little bit more confidently stable right now, I think. Whereas when I'm seeing 100 Thieves win, it's not that it's unconvincing, it's just I think not as convincing some of the times, you know? Does that make sense?
Sure.
That wasn't the good confidence I wanted. Here's what I
actually
think.
have the opposite take from you.
Oh, that's interesting. You're probably right, but I'm not gonna switch now. Part of it is I just want to see FlyQuest succeed, so I'm saying this. I'm gonna try to will it into existence, but I really can't figure out which team I think. I really don't think both Fly and 100 Thieves are going to end in the playoffs. I do think one of the 2 teams will stabilize from falling, either GGS or Optic, but I just really can't decide which I think will stabilize.
Yeah, I agree that one of the teams that is going up is probably going to keep going up, and one of the teams that's going down is going to keep going down, and the other one.
Yeah, it's an extraordinarily safe bet. Yes, that's why I said it.
Yeah, it's right in the middle.
It's like it's aggressively safe.
It's the centrism of League of Legends. What? Okay.
Well, let's not do this right now.
Either way,
I don't agree with that statement.
I think FlyQuest's ceiling is kind of lower than 100 Thieves' ceiling. Because people have been saying from the beginning...
Just because they have... You just say that because they have Bang.
Maybe. It also could be because Ryu was apparently a great shot caller. And I don't think that Pobelter is as good. Pobelter's on FlyQuest,
I think we knew that, though.
Pobelter's on FlyQuest. I'm not high, right? Is he on Golden Guardians? No, Golden Guardians have Frag in mid. Yes.
No, Golden Guardians have been playing Frag sometimes and sometimes Phoenix.
Either way. 100 Thieves have a lot more potential, and I think that Amazing and Ryu and Bang will hard carry them in the way that they basically have been for the past few weeks. Even if I think they're on like a 2-game loss streak from this weekend or something. I don't remember, because I think they played TL and they lost that game. But Optic and Golden Guardians look very like questionable to me, and I don't know how to read this, because Optic was doing well when Bang was essentially hard carrying them. Bang,
correct.
He was. Did I say Bang? I meant Crown.
You said Bang.
Yeah, I meant Crown.
Right, I knew you meant Crown.
I meant Crown. So Crown was 1v9ing and kind of was the first player to introduce the Twisted Fate to the LCS, and I feel like the way he was playing Twisted Fate was like how Apto plays Twisted Fate, where he basically goes around the map, tries to win every single lane by himself, give himself 4 wards that have enough gold to help him kill turrets and nexuses, and then win games like that. But it apparently stopped working, and something's going on. I honestly think they should probably try subbing out Meteos for Dardoch if they still have Dardoch. I think they do. I don't think he went anywhere. But I don't know. Optic seems to be faltering, and they should probably make some roster moves to figure it out. Golden Guardians put in FBI and Huhi, right?
Yes.
Please stop it. I don't think that's a better option. I don't know why everyone's
worked
shitting
one time.
It worked one time out of 4.
Yes,
but I don't know why everyone was shitting on Apollo and Hakuo. Was it the support? I think Hakuo was the support. I might be wrong, but I didn't think their bot lane was that bad. I thought they were doing pretty good at the beginning of the split, and they are still 6-6. But I don't know. It could just be that 100 Thieves have leveled up and they're taking down Optic Gaming and everyone above them and in between them. Wait, I can just check here.
Hello?
What? Yeah, 100 Thieves had a 2-0 week,
sorry.
actually. Oh, no, 2 week. Because I had them for one of the games. So yeah, it's hard, like you said, it's hard to call who's going to drop, because they were both doing pretty well, and they were both kind of like, yeah, these teams are definitely going to playoffs like 3 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden it's just like, I don't know, the magic stopped working, and no one can really figure out what the problem is anymore, whereas 100 Thieves and FlyQuest seem to have figured out what their problem was already. And that's normally knowing what your problem is and having it fixed is better than not knowing what your problem is and being ahead.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm excited to see it, though. I think we're definitely going to get I'm glad that it wasn't just locked in much earlier in the split when we did our initial playoff predicts. If we had just been right, then it would have been a little bit of a bummer that there was that
100
little...
Thieves just... it wouldn't have been that much of a bummer. I would have kept going on about 100 Thieves going 0-18. It would have been a great
No,
split.
but it just would have been a bummer. I think it's always a bummer if the whatever league and whatever sport is just that predictable that, like, at really, like, week 3 or 4, you can be like, here are the teams, right? Like, or like a third of the way in, you're just like, here are the teams, nothing's going to change for the next 2/3 of the season. Like, that to me is a little boring. So I'm excited to see the upturn. Bummed to see the downturn. I wish it was just people getting very good, obviously, but I'm excited to see how it plays out.
You know, it's probably saying something that both of us are hovering right around 50% prediction, that it's rather hard to just straight up predict these matches. Like, even this week...
Which is good. I mean, that makes it exciting.
It does, but at the same time, I feel like it's a symptom of best of ones more than the fact that the league is really close. Because Echo Fox beat C9 this week. Do you think that's going to happen again? Would you bet on that happening again? Even though it's happened twice? Echo Fox beat both TL and C9. Clearly they should be number one in the league right now.
Yeah, I think C9 and TL win those BO5s, BO3s. That's fair. I guess you're right. I mean, in the BO1, I think we talked about this last week, but...
Yes, we did.
There's that option, or there's that, like, kind of... I don't want to say luck, but, like, there's more leeway for luck, because, like, one dumb mistake, one small error, like, one...
Well, there's no margin for error, which is the real
yeah, but not even, like, a margin for error thing, right? Like, it just seems like you're capable of just, like, Oh, no, that is an error thing. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, you could have one really lucky Baron steal that just swings a game. That
like a total 50-50,
that's
right? Like you
before.
could put off a 50-50.
Or even just steal it with a Qiyana tornado.
Yeah, but I don't think a jungler is bad or did something mechanically wrong if they lose a straight 50-50 over Baron. I think it's like, well, yeah, it was a coin flip, right? Like, that's just how that goes, in my head.
If you've noticed, teams are not taking coin flips anymore. Just because...
because they're dumb and risky.
Because they're dumb, and it's like, hey, if we just walk away, they can't
If we lose
take
this,
it
we lose the game.
One
and so
guy there.
If we don't lose the game, we haven't lost the game. Like, there's no reason to coin flip for a game when you can, try it.
Safe roll that meme right there.
What?
Safe roll that meme right there. What? So yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
You don't know the safe roll meme? It's the black dude tapping his temple.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's called safe roll. So, we're not really sure what this means. We think it could definitely affect playoffs. But we don't think both of the lower tier teams are going to make it in, and we're not sure. We're not really sure exactly how that's going to work out because there's so many variables, people. There's so many variables.
Yeah, shout out best of ones. Bring back BO3s.
I'm gonna start a campaign, and then viewership's gonna go down, and I'm gonna get blamed for it too. But all right, on to our next topic. We got a new champion hitting the Rift.
We do.
Qiyana.
Qiyana's hitting the Rift, an LCS play before Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Mordekaiser's disabled and she's not, even though this is her first patch and Mordekaiser's second patch. I think Mordekaiser's too buggy, and that's why they won't enable him. He's enabled in some regions, but it's up to...
But if he's enabled in some regions, to me that doesn't feel like a bug. Because why would they be like, well, you guys
some
can
of them
play
don't
with
give a
bug.
shit. And it's up to the league to decide who they want in. And who cares if there's a bug in Turkey?
I mean, probably Turkish players.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I think that the answer to your question is the pros who have to play there.
So Qiyana only got 2 games in NA, and I think in the top 5 regions only had 6 games, 4 bans, 2 plays, and I think a lot of that... No, I think that's NA. 4 bans, 2 plays in NA. I don't remember. There was 4 plays, 10 bans in the top 5 regions. That's what it was. So, really not on the radar for everyone. Not like Yuumi was, where Yuumi has been a priority pick for quite some time.
I think they fill different roles. I think
They do.
I think Qiyana's significantly more niche.
But that means that Qiyana isn't breaking the game open by herself, which we definitely saw this weekend. Because while I saw a lot of power from Qiyana, especially in both the games from Damonte looked pretty good on Qiyana, not gonna lie. We saw exactly why Qiyana can't single-handedly win a game. It's because she's just not that powerful and gets really limited by her cooldowns, which is just...
Well, I think that's not bad for a champion.
It's not. No, it's not. It's just...
I think if they were to introduce another AD assassin who was not another, because I don't think there are any right now, but if they were to introduce an AD assassin who could literally solo carry any game, I think that would be a big problem.
That wasn't a problem. Don't you dare put that on Zed.
Yes, he was, and you know that. You know how I feel about assassins, Anthony, as a bot laner.
Yep.
They shouldn't be in the game. Or actually, they should be in the game. Assassins should be really specific counter picks. Like, that's it. Like, you should be picking an assassin to counter pick a lane. If you're picking an assassin because it is able to just win the game, I think that's a big problem. I also think it's okay to pick an assassin to fill out a team comp, which is something I wanted to talk about with Qiyana. I think Qiyana's a little bit better right now than a lot of other AD assassins who you could bring mid lane. Zed's probably pickable without it being a meme. Talon is probably not pickable, etc., etc. But I think that Qiyana right now feels a little bit stronger. I like that there's at least one viable AD assassin so that you can potentially open up more AP top laners, you can open up more AP junglers, AP bot laners. Having that extra role that can fill an AD slot is, I think, very good for the game in that it would hypothetically allow for like a larger meta expansion, because it's not just like, well, we have to fit an AP somewhere probably, so we're gonna throw a min, right? Like, and nowhere else because there's just no AD to go min, right? Like, I just like that personally.
So I think the only real mid lane or AD mid laners right now are Aurelia and Qiyana. I can't think of and Twisted Fate. I can't think of any more off the top of my head.
A couple weeks ago.
Huh? What?
They picked Zed a few weeks ago.
You talking about Rift Rivals? Oh no, wait. Last week, Cody's son picked Zed mid.
Yes, he did.
The AD carry for Clutch Gaming went mid with Zed. Oi.
Hell yes, he did, my boy.
Oi.
Whatever. I don't want to make you think about that anymore. So
I've actually played a little bit of Qiyana, and I've talked to Tony about Qiyana.
Has Tony? I assume Tony has. It seems like a Tony champ.
Yeah, Tony really wanted to play Qiyana, and he was giving me shit for not running around with Ocean, or not Ocean, with Water Element on.
I have not played Qiyana because, as you might guess, Anthony,
Assassins don't go on the bot lane. Talk to Fnatic about that one.
Oh, you want to test me, son? We'll play a game after this. I'll do whatever I want in the bottom lane.
All right, if you complain after that game, I win.
Oh, I ain't complain. You're gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one having a bad time. You're gonna be the one without a mid laner.
Either way, it seems to be that the optimal way to carry around Qiyana is to grab water to walk around the map, because water is not as easy to get as the bush or the mountain or whatever, or earth, whatever you want to call these elements. Wall. We'll call it wall, because of course it's called wall. Either way.
You know, the famous, one of the 4 famous elements, wall.
Earth, wind, fire, and wall.
I like that you got rid of water. You didn't even get rid of earth. That's dumb, bro.
Back to Qiyana.
Yeah, sorry. You're going to have to carry this thing.
You lead with the water element.
Really even played her.
Because it has a root on it, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a root. And then you can grab earth or wind.
Or brush.
Or brush, whatever you want to call it. Grass. It's like Pokemon up in here. And then by changing the element...
Except with significantly fewer types, but yes.
By changing the element you're grabbing, you get to reset your passive. So you can get, I think, all 3 of your passive all 3 times for each element that you hit them with. The only problem is that you have to wait your W cooldown in between one of those ability uses, because using your Q and then W resets the Q, but then your W still has to be on cooldown. So you gotta, it's a balancing act. Now, the one thing that I really noticed this weekend is that Qiyana counters the ever-living fuck out of Azir.
Yes, with the wall interaction?
Yes, her ult works on his wall. And I noticed this in, I think, the second game from Clutch Gaming when they played it. Because Azir used his wall behind like that wall between the river brush on red side on blue side, right next to Raptors. He put his soldiers like directly blocking that entire pathway there, and then Qiyana ults the little hump wall that goes down into the river from mid lane, and then it followed it all the way around through the Raptor pit. And my mind just blew right there. I'm like, hang on, this champion can do so much stupid shit with player terrain, because I had seen that it works on Taliyah terrain, which I thought was like, yeah, of course, it's obvious it works on Taliyah.
That makes sense.
Didn't even occur to me that it was gonna work on Azir's terrain, because it's not like terrain to me. It's like some dude standing there. It's like, that's not rocks. Apparently they're made of rocks. So Taliyah's got some explaining to do, or Azir's got some explaining to do, because his soldiers are filled with rocks.
No, they're made of sand, which is just rocks.
I hate you.
That I just thought of that, but that's probably just what it is, right? Like, ooh,
no, it's just because they're coded as terrain.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm pretty sure she's only lost 1 game, by the way, and that was the Clutch Gaming defeat to TSM. So
that makes sense.
Kind of broken when she's picked and played by competent players into probably bad teams. I don't know. I feel like she should probably be getting more presents, and she's just not getting enough presents. Have you played against her much? What do you think? She crazy?
Dude, I've like not played League a lot lately because I've been very busy. And when I have played League, I think I've only played against Qiyana 2 or 3 times.
Were you in one of the games I played it?
Against, I said. And then the games you played her, I wasn't really paying attention to what you were doing because I was trying to not die. So, like, I was just trying to play my game, and I wasn't really focusing on how your abilities interacted. I actually have, like, legit no idea how Qiyana works at all. I haven't brought her... Generally, when a new champion comes out or a rework comes out, like, even with Mord, I don't play Mord. I don't play solo lanes. It's just not what I enjoy.
Yeah, but we spammed Mord for over a week.
I know you did. I brought Mord into the practice tool, though, and I was like, well, let's just try him. So I generally... Because I like to know what a champion can do or does. But I haven't gotten a chance to do that with Qiyana yet because I've been very busy. I actually have no idea if she really works or the optimal way to play her. So I was really hoping you could carry this segment because, like, I've seen her, like, at most 6 times in game. Like, and that was, like, 2 weeks ago. Like,
I don't think they really touched her. They just did a couple of bug fixes on her Q because
I heard the patch
grass
notes,
broke it. I can't wait for the patch notes tomorrow.
Why?
There's... Who's getting a rework? Swain's getting touched. They're touching Swain, and I really...
New Rise?
Yeah, New Rise.
Again? As per you. Okay. So week 7 picks, because I really have nothing... I really don't understand. Like, okay, so for what I've seen from Qiyana, I can't offer what Anthony offered in the sense of, like, here's how you start, here's how you do this. I don't think that she is oppressive. Having played against her, both as an AD carry and a support, I think I even played... Oh, I never played against her as a laner opponent, but... and jungle, like, basically, I've played against her in all the 3 roles I, like, really actually, like, enjoy playing, and I never felt like I was fucked. Like, when I used to play against old Zed, and he'd get, like, 3 kills, and I was an AD carry or a support, I'd be like, oh, well, I just can't do anything now. Like... I don't get to play the game. It's over, right? Or if I do play,
of explicitly that on this channel.
I know you do.
I demolished people because he was so broken. I played like garbage and I still won.
Yes, and then yeah, in the past when assassins have been like really oppressive, I've felt it. Look, I know what that feels like, and this doesn't feel like that, right? Like I've seen good Qiyanas, and I've definitely lost a few fights I probably shouldn't have, or maybe shouldn't have because I didn't really understand how she worked, but generally she feels like relatively balanced. It feels like outside of picking her a lot for like the new effect, like, oh, you know, new champion spam or whatever, like she's really, I feel like, only going to be super viable in really like specific counter matchups or like team comps. What those are, I don't really know, but
well, primarily you need good AP threat on your team, because otherwise you're giving up your mid lane slot to an AD champion.
No, then that's, well, yes, but like, I mean, I don't think there are really any like high tiered AP junglers right now or AP top laners.
Yeah, there's no like, besides
or AP
Elise,
bot laners. Like,
besides Elise, I don't know who. Besides Elise and Gragas, there aren't any AP damage dealing junglers like out there.
Not any good ones. And then top lane, it's like, oh, fine, you can bring Cassio, but like, why?
I mean, you can play Rumble. You can play Vladimir, but I don't know. I don't like Vladimir as a pick anymore. He feels really lackluster. Like I was saying before. Easy to beat.
He is. I don't know. I think she's definitely got her role, and I'm excited to see how she develops in play. I don't think she's going to have an earth-shattering or even a relatively large impact on the meta.
Did we say the same thing about Yuumi?
No, I said Yuumi was going to be really good.
I think before or after the first week we said that. I don't remember.
All I know is I remember talking about Yuumi, and I'd already played her and played with her and against her.
Oh, we spammed Yuumi more than we spammed any of the other champions.
Just because like 4 of our friends are support players. Like
a little bit.
Like almost, literally everyone but you plays support in that group.
I still don't own Yuumi.
Yeah, I believe that. But like also, Yuumi just seems a lot more oppressive. And I think she was, which is why she's so much higher priority.
She still is.
No, I agree. I mean, literally when she came out, a bunch of pros were like, yeah, by the way, this champion's bullshit. And it's everything that's wrong with League in one champion. Right? Like, that's not exactly a ringing endorsement, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Should we move on to next week?
Week 7 picks!
We got C9.
Game 1, my boy, C9 100 Thieves. I did not mean to cut you off there, but I fucking did it anyway.
How dare you? I picked C9 as well. We got game 2, which is TSM versus Golden Guardians. I picked TSM. You want me to just read everything off, or are you gonna like go off and take turns?
I have nothing to say about TSM GGS, so no.
I mean just saying what your pick is.
Oh, yeah. I picked TSM for this one. I think it's kind of clear-cut. TSM been performing. Golden Guardians underperforming. Still good, I think, as a team, but not up there with TSM in the BO1, unless TSM does some more of that meme lord shit in Champ Select, I think. And we get hit with another I'm not sorry tweet. I think we're going to be A-okay on that end. I see you rubbing your forehead. I'm very amused. You still win that fight, though, because we benched Jensen and Sneaky, so... we actually went deep as fuck. Yeah, wait a minute. We actually went deep as fuck off that, so never mind. Anyway, next up, we got FlyQuest CLG. I picked CLG. CLG still looks pretty steady.
I picked CLG, too. Just
our sweet boys over at FlyQuest look a little unsteady.
It's hard to pick them over.
Well, they look steady, but they don't look at, I don't think they're bad at FlyQuest, but I think
they're coming up. But I feel like CLG's also coming up.
Yeah, and in the coin flip of we have a team that's been up and been performing. I think CLG is currently even tied for third with TSM.
Didn't CLG just beat TSM and Cloud9?
Yes, yeah, that's why we're picking them here, Anthony. Anthony, that you're explaining why. What I'm explaining, just in less words. So next up, we got TL versus Clutch Gaming. Well, that's a FlyQuest that's a TL pick for me, my guy.
Yeah, it's a TL pick, and I don't feel like we need to justify that.
Nope, and we're not fucking gonna. Fox versus Optic. We both picked Optic. Again, one team on the downturn, another team kind of on the downturn. Even though Optic hasn't been looking great, I still have a little more faith in them than I have in FlyQuest. But I believe this in the pregame when you and I were just hanging out, this was the game that made you say, fuck. Because who knows, right?
No. That's Optic's next game.
Oh, no, it's not. That's
no, that's the CG Fox game. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're right. That was CG Fox. This one is still a little bit fuck, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, this one's a little close. I'd probably just put on
Fox
Optic.
beat some really good teams, but then Optic has done well. But Optic is also playing
How are you able to beat TSM and C9 or not TSM, TL and C9? Yet I'm still picking Optic Gaming over you. How is that a thing? I mean, I'd do the same thing to CLG. Well, no, I wouldn't pick Optic over CLG. But I'd still pick any team above CLG over CLG.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Even if they've beaten them.
So next we've got Fox or TL. Jesus Christ, I can't read.
Golden Guardians versus Team Liquid.
GGS versus Team Liquid. We picked Team Liquid.
I'm not backing that up.
No, we don't need to. Next, CLG versus Cloud9. We both picked Cloud9. CLG's
I'm ready to watch this ass
good.
kicking again, even if I'm wrong.
I'm excited to see it. Did you pick C9?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
This is our focus matchup, so we'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh shit, you're right. I scrolled down on the dock. CG versus Fox, the match that made Anthony cuss.
Yeah, I don't care about this game or the result, to be honest. I picked Fox because I had to pick something.
I picked Fox. I picked Clutch Gaming because they...
you skipped Optic versus TSM. We both picked TSM.
We both do,
I feel like that's self-explanatory, but I just think TSM's better. But in every lane, basically. Even if Crown is a world champion. If Optic win, it's going to be a miracle, to be honest. They had to fix some shit to win this game.
Yes.
And then we have 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest, which is another one of our focus matchups this week because they're both the teams on the rise, and I want to talk about that.
Yes. So let's talk about it. CLG versus C9. CLG versus C9. Probably shouldn't clap that loud.
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. Look, I'm learning. I don't know how audio works. Anyway, CLG versus C9. Here's what I'm thinking. CLG tied for third with TSM. TSM very nearly beat C9, and I'm a little bit surprised. I think I texted you this. While I was rewatching the C9 TSM VOD, I was like, holy shit, how did C9 even win this game? That's wild. Right? So, I think CLG is actually completely capable of beating C9.
Well, they're perfect.
Whether or not...
They beat them.
Yes. I think they're capable of.
Wait, no, they lost to C9. Hang on, what?
But I think that they're capable of doing it, and I don't think they will, only because one, I'm a C9 fan, and I'm like sort of contractually obligated to pick C9 over everyone but TL at this point, and because I think C9 showing me what they showed me this week, even though they lost to Fox, that they came back, they were able to, in a game against one of the top teams guaranteed in TSM, stay focused, even though they were behind, have that goal deficit, have that objective deficit, like Drake deficit. I think they even lost Baron sort of in the mid-game when things had equaled up. They were able to stay focused and play their game their way, and it really, really showed an incredible amount of control. So if they can bring that again, then I think that it's a really good look for C9 in that matchup.
Small correction for what we've been saying quite a few times this show.
What you've been saying.
CLG beat Team Liquid, not Cloud9. They lost to Cloud9 like 1, 2, 3 weeks ago. Either way.
Let me hear your thoughts on CLG and C9 or 100 Thieves.
I think this game's going to be rather close. I definitely think that... Why does it have CLG at 7 wins and 5 losses? Whatever. I definitely think... Oh, I know why. I definitely think C9 has better players, like just straight up. I'm not so confident in their bot lane being a lot better than CLG's bot lane. But C9 definitely have better mid jungle and top. Well, actually, wait. If they play Licorice, they have a better top laner. If they don't play Licorice, I don't know.
I don't think they're playing Licorice.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think people have been like, I think Licorice is coming back next week for both like the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, I think he's out for the rest or until.
My boy needs to heal.
Summer.
Please don't hurt yourself for 2 weeks of the regular season. Please, dear God, don't hurt yourself.
So I think if they're playing Kumo, CLG can probably play towards their top side like they have done a few times in the past and try to get Ruin ahead and put him on a good split pushing champion, get that split push game going, and then they can probably rip apart C9. Because I think what TSM couldn't do in the game this weekend was pull them apart and be able to leverage them at all. They got forced into team fighting with a poke comp, which isn't exactly what the poke comp wants to do all the time. And because they couldn't split push on them, they basically had zero options but to try to face roll team fight, and they couldn't pull it out. So I think CLG is going to be a much better team for split pushing, especially because that seems to be Ruin's bread and butter, and playing towards Ruin with C9 having a worse top laner will probably be their option. If C9 have Licorice, they should probably move towards a sustainable split pusher, if you understand what I'm saying. Somebody who will just be able to survive on a split push against Licorice instead of being able to just win the game through the split push, and then try to play on their bot side and maybe go for 1-3-1 or go for a siege comp to try to do a split push siege mixture. That's just what I think CLG would be good at. I think C9 can just pick straight team fight and face roll them with pure skill, and it will not take a lot of effort, and that should probably be what they pick. It just seems like easy options for Cloud9 and a lot of hard picks and hard plays, and maybe even a bit of luck for CLG to be able to come out on top on this.
I think that's fair. Now tell me about your thoughts on our next featured matchup, my young friend. 100 Thieves for FlyQuest. As we mentioned earlier, 2 teams on the uptick, 2 teams that have a legitimate chance to return to playoff contention.
So FlyQuest are 3-1 in their last 4 games, and 100 Thieves are, what is this?
98-0.
6-2. Or no, I'm sorry, 5-2 in their last 7. Yes. So both of them pretty decent records for their for recent records wise. I would probably give this to I think I said 100 Thieves. I don't want to correct myself. I would probably give this to 100 Thieves. I'm pretty sure I wrote down 100 Thieves. Yes, I did. Because they seem to have more skill and a better team cohesion, and they've been doing it for longer than FlyQuest have. They've even had a couple of losses along the way in this new uprising from them to kind of solidify that they understand what they're doing, and they're not just gonna fall apart at their first loss after getting it back together. FlyQuest, on the other hand, did just take their first loss after a 3-game win streak, so it's kind of a question mark as to whether or not they're gonna survive the whole time. But I think if they win this match, they definitely increase their odds to get into playoffs for me by a lot. Well, not only because they're beating the team that they're very likely to be competing for that spot with, but because it helps solidify their lead, just like Honey Thieves already has, by taking a defeat and continuing to progress regardless of it.
I think that's completely true. I agree. I think my answer to which team maintains the upswing will be uptick will be really closer. Not really. Will be significantly closer to being solidified after this game. But I think this game, like you said, I think this will be really telling for who will be like most likely to secure playoffs or something. I think that's true. That's it. That's all I have. I mean, I'm just gonna agree with you. You want to take us on home there?
Yeah. I think I will. I think that'll do it for week 6 of the LCS on the Legendary League Lens podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can catch us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Nizzy2K11. Catch the VODs on my YouTube channel. And have a nice day.
What's the name of the YouTube channel?
NizzyTV. It's below in the description of wherever you're watching this.
It doesn't hurt to tell people things. Hey, have a good night, everybody.